Protesters standing their ground another night in Egypt. This is Cairo's Tahrir Square. This is live. That you can see there. It is dark. It is packed with protesters. We are told about 1,000 more protesters now marching in the square right now. Let's listen in. Now, that was earlier today. The demonstrators saying they're not letting up until the president, Mohamed Morsy, withdraws some of the sweeping powers that he granted himself last week. Egyptian commentator Mona Eltahawy, she's joining us from New York. So, Mona, as always, good to see you here. We see these live pictures. We've got folks who are again in the streets in Tahrir Square. What do they hope? What do they want now that they have a democratically elected president? They can't get rid of him at this point. What do they do?
Well, all those people you're seeing in the various squares, not just in Cairo, but across Egypt, Suzanne, across many cities, they're basically on the street to tell President Morsi, we are your checks and balances. We are the people who will keep you honest right after you grabbed all this power for yourself that has made you even more powerful than Mubarak, who we got rid of last year. So the people are there to say, we might have elected you as president, but we did not elect a new dictator.
So if that's the message, Mona, that's what folks are saying. How do they turn that into a reality? How do they affect or change his behavior?
Well, that's exactly our biggest dilemma in Egypt, because after 60 years of military rule, 30 of which were spent under Mubarak, who consistently filled institutions with his own people, that's our dilemma. What Morsi claimed he was doing was getting rid of a corrupt judiciary. And yes, the judiciary is corrupt because it was installed by Mubarak. He got rid of, again, a corrupt prosecutor general. Yes, that is correct as well. But the way to help Egypt towards freedom is not by paving it with dictatorship. And so we need to rebuild those institutions. We need to cleanse those institutions of that corruption. And the way to do that is not through dictatorship.
And Mona, you were in Cairo just last week. I know you're going to be returning shortly as well. And all the folks you talk to, your family and your friends, what's the most important thing that people want right now?
The most important thing that people want right now in Egypt are jobs. They want the economy to get back on its feet. They want the ultimate message, or the ultimate goals of the revolution were bread, liberty and social justice. And under all of those is employment, the economy, safety on the streets, and an end to police brutality. This is so important. One of the main catalysts of the revolution was police brutality. And up until this morning, we were seeing tremendously high levels of police brutality. At least 3 young men, 2 of them younger than 20 years old, were killed in the past week in clashes with police. So that there are many very clear demands that our president seems to be ignoring for the sake of grabbing power for himself.
Mona, as a woman in Egypt, you've been attacked, you've been harassed in the past, you've been very vocal about fighting for women's rights. Do you think that there's been any progress in this new leader?
I think the biggest sign that there is progress in Egypt is that people are speaking out. I've been very vocal about my sexual assault at the hands of Egyptian riot police. Many women I know today are very vocal about their any kind of sexual violence that they face, whether it's at the hands of thugs, the police, or ordinary protesters. This is the time that Egypt needs its women the most. Egypt needs its women and its men. And I'm seeing a very positive sign today where a lot of people are on social media, like Twitter and Facebook, saying, we will help fight sexual violence, and they're encouraging women to come out in big groups. And there's even a new account on Twitter called Tahrir Bodyguard, which wants to help women by bringing them together in big groups and protecting them against that kind of sexual violence.
All right, Mona, thank you. Mona Eltahawy.